Hey everyone, I'm Zakar and welcome back to Meta Week. We are doing all of the classes at base class with just their meta builds for PvP this week. And we're doing Dragonknight today, and I've been playing this a little bit off stream today, and wow, I love this. I completely forgot how much I love Dragonknight outside of subclassing. Like, this is so much fun. I've been having an absolute blast on this thing. So I'm not going to waste your time any further. We're going to show you guys a base Dragonknight just meta build in case you just wanted to do that. So this is going to be for PvP, by the way. We're going to be a Dark Elf on our Dragonknight. It doesn't really matter what race you do at the end of the day. There are so many good races for Dragonknight. Dark Elf is good, Orc, Khajiit, even like Nord is good. There are so many good ones right now. So I just think Dark Elf is just my personal favorite. Plus, it was already Dark Elf, and between you and me, I'm not gonna race change right now. Like, I'm not trying to spend money in this game, so we're Dark Elf, and honestly, I really like it a lot. So that's my race that I'm on here. Also, for our attributes, we're gonna have 0 points into magic, 39 points into health, and then 25 points into stamina. Gives us a max magic pool of 18.5k, a max health pool of 32.3k, and a max stam pool of 20.3k. So overall, I think that's really balanced. It's really great. I have it so that we're kind of using a little bit more stam than magic on here, and it's a lot easier to kind of get some stam recovery back because we are using the Serpent Mundus, so that is a great way to just kind of keep our sustain up. I think that's really just about the only thing that we have into sustain here. Also, actually, I lied because we are also using Jewels of Misrule, which is our food. That's going to increase our overall stamina and magic recovery by 357. Also, it's going to increase our max health by about 4,000 as well. So, in my opinion, that is the best way to go for your food. And then from there, also, your potions are going to be the regular tripods that you can just buy from any vendor in Cyrodiil. So, that's the way to go for that. As far as our gear goes, we're gonna be using Bloodspawn because look, we're back to being on Bloodspawn. We're at DK and I love it. I kind of missed it a little bit. It's like going and seeing an old friend that you haven't seen in a long time. So we're using a heavy reinforced Bloodspawn helmet and a medium impen Bloodspawn shoulder. Bloodspawn, for those of you guys that don't know, one of the best and most consistent sets in the game. It is a 1-piece stam recovery, and the 2-piece is when you take damage, you have a 6% chance to generate 13 ultimate and increase your physical and spell resistance by 3,700 for 5 seconds, and that effect can occur once every 5 seconds. So it makes it nice and tanky, gives you a lot of ult charge, and Dragonknight thrives off of ult charge. So personally, Bloodspawn is just the way to go for anything Dragonknight related. I love it so much. I missed it. It's one of my favorites, and it's cool to see it back. Front bar, I did say this was a meta build, and this is going to be Pyrebrand, heavy Pyrebrand chest piece in reinforced. So what it does is it gives you a line of offensive penetration, 2 lines of weapon and spell damage, and then your light attacks are going to deal 5,600 flame damage over 6 seconds, which is honestly, that's pretty good because that's going to reapply every time you light attack. So every time you light attack, if you're light attack weaving all of your abilities, Pyrebrand is going off constantly. And it just is one of those things where you are just constantly having that go off, and that is so much damage over time that it is phenomenal. Even if you don't light attack them, that's a 6-second dot, which is still really good because it's a short dot, which means that the ticks are a lot higher because of that. So it's really nice. Also, you have a mechanic with your fully charged heavy attacks, but between you and me, I never use it because I would just rather keep my dot pressure on them. So personally, just don't even worry about the heavy attacks. I don't ever do that. I don't know. So you guys, when you guys use Pyrebrand, do you use the heavy attack mechanic? Because I personally don't. Also, moving on, we're going to be using medium Pyrebrand hands in Impen. Our back bar is going to be Rallying Cry, Sash, Divine's Light. Rallying Cry, for those of you guys that don't know, gives you a line of crit chance, max magic, another line of crit chance, and then when you are healing, critically strikes while Battle Spirit is active. I say this every time, Battle Spirit can only be activated in 4 different places, either Battlegrounds, a duel, Imperial City, or Cyrodiil. You could be only in those 4 places. Battle Spirit is nowhere else in this game. So that is the only place to proc that. So if you try to test this outside of that, it's not going to proc. So good luck. But what it does is if you critically heal yourself or an ally, you're going to gain 1650 crit resist and 300 weapon and spell damage for 20 seconds. That's really good. Makes you a lot tankier with that crit resist, gives you a lot more extra weapon and spell damage. That being said, do think about this. The more people that you have in the group, the lower it goes. So try not to have too many people in that group. Moving on, we have 1 extra slot on this build, so I use a 1-piece heavy trainee for our legs in reinforced. Also, we are using Firebrand Feet in Impenetrable. And then our Mythic is Monomyth Reforged, protective in the weapon and spell damage trait. So there's a lot of different things you could use here. I say this for every single video. Monomyth is personally my favorite Mythic in the game, and I think that it's undisputed. It's so good. If you don't have Monomyth, a few other options that you can use are Saint the Seducer, Markin, or Death Dealers. I think that those other three are very good, and you would be very well off if you use any of those other three. So that's my advice. But that being said, I also do highly recommend getting Monomyth. It is phenomenal. So what it does though, for those of you guys that don't know, while in combat on your primary weapon, you're going to gain Major Force and Minor Berserk. So that gives you a ton of extra critical damage and a bunch of extra regular damage. So it's really nice. I love that. That being said, you do get Minor Vulnerability on you, which is you take a little bit more damage. But like I've said in every other video that I put Monomyth on, the pros seriously outweigh the cons on this Mythic. It's so good. Then on your back bar, you're going to be getting Major Protection and Minor Vitality. So you're going to be very tanky. You're getting a little bit extra healing as well. But you're also going to get Minor Timidity, which drains your ultimate slightly over time when you're on your back bar. And like I said with the other part, the pros seriously outweigh the cons. It's so good. I love it. I highly recommend it. Moving on, we're also using Rallying Cry as our other two pieces of jewelry. Our ring is going to be protective with a weapon and spell damage enchantment, and our necklace is going to be protective with a weapon and spell damage enchantment on it as well. Our front bar is going to be Firebrand Maces. They're going to be dual wield. Main hand is going to be Nirnhone with a shock damage enchantment on it. Offhand is going to be charged with a physical damage enchantment on it. And then back bar, we're using Rallying Cry Ice Staff, defending with an increased weapon and spell damage enchantment on it. So let's go on to our skills. Our skills are going to be Molten Whip as our main source of damage, but you don't want to be spamming this because Dragonknight is all about having your abilities be kind of in cohesion and activating them in synergy. So Molten Whip, you're going to be dealing 7,200 damage, right? Real quick, right? We're not buffed up and we don't have anything else on there. 7,200 damage. Use words. It's not bad, right? But it can get better, right? Because what happens is whenever you activate a different Ardent Flame ability while in combat, you're going to gain a stack of Seething Fury, increasing the damage of your next Molten Whip by 20%. And it also increases your weapon and spell damage by 100 as well per stack. So that can stack up to 3 times. And so that's 20% per stack. That will increase the damage of your Molten Whip by 60%. Guys, that is insane amounts of extra damage. That is why you don't want to just be spamming Molten Whip, because if you use your other abilities, you can make your Molten Whips hit harder. And your other Ardent Flame abilities are these last 3 right here. I'll go over those in a second. So our next ability is going to be Shattering Rocks. I just like it in this slot. It's just best for me. It's just what I'm used to. Shattering Rocks is going to be your CC on this build. It's one of the best CCs in the game, in my opinion, because it's going to heal you. They're going to take a little bit of damage, and it cannot be blocked or dodged. And I love that so much. There are so many CCs in this game that you can just block or something, or just like get rid, like avoid. This one, nothing you can really do about it. Just you're gonna get CC'd. It's gonna happen, and that's why I love Shattering Rocks. It's a great CC and it's a great way to combo your abilities. We also have Flames of Oblivion on here, which is an extra source of amazing damage that you just want to keep active at all times. It's a 15-second duration, and it's shooting out every 5 seconds during that duration. So it's great. And then on top of that, you're going to get Major Prophecy and Savagery, increasing your weapon spell critical by 2,600. Great. I'm using Burning Embers on this build, which I love because it's a nice little dot over time that really puts pressure on the enemies. And the initial hit's going to be afflicted with the Burning Status effect, which is great extra damage. And then on top of that, you're going to heal for 102% of the damage done with this ability. So getting that little bit of extra healing is great because it's just letting you stay alive even longer. I love it. We have Noxious Breath as well. This is going to be a great little heal damage over time as well. The initial hit hits pretty hard. It's an AoE and it hits very hard. And then it's also going to leave a 24-second dot on them that's going to be doing poison status effect damage, and it is great extra damage between the Noxious Breath and the Burning Embers dots ticking at all times. Great extra damage. And then also the initial hit is going to apply Major Breach to your enemies and for the duration. So it's great. It's going to reduce their physical and spell resistance by 6,000. So it's going to make you hit a lot harder after you hit them with that. Also, we use Take Flight on our front bar because Take Flight is an extremely hard-hitting ultimate that is actually really cheap too. So this is one of the hardest hitting ultimates in the game, and that being said, it's at only 113 ultimate. So with blood spawn going at all times, it is great for your overall. I've said great so many times in this video, and I understand that, and I apologize. I'm clocking it. I'm gonna try not to say it for the rest of the video. All right, if I say it for the rest of the video, I need you guys to yell at me in the comments. I'm sorry. So use take flight. Awesome source of damage for burst potential. Igneous weapons is our source of major brutality and sorcery, increasing our weapon and spell damage by 20%. So it's also on a 1.2 minute timer. So it's really good for your overall sustain because you only have to hit it once every like 72 seconds. So it's really good for that. Race Against Time is our source of major expedition and minor force. So it's going to increase our overall speed by 30% and it's going to increase our critical damage by 10%. Then on top of that, activating this ability is going to remove all snares and immobilizations to you, and it's going to grant you immunity to them for 4 seconds. So if you're locked down, you're snared down, and if you want to get out of there, you activate this ability, you move, you're fast, you're out of there. Resolving Vigor, it's a 5-second heal over time. Also, it's going to give you minor resolve, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 3,000. Also, we're using Healing Soul, which is a nice little burst heal on here. I know that you could use Coag, but personally, I would rather use Healing Soul on here because of the buffs that it gives. It's a good, nice burst heal. You're also going to get 600 magic and stamina back, so it's kind of good for your sustain. And then on top of that, you're going to be getting Major Vitality. So for 10 seconds, it's going to increase your healing received by 12%. I'm using Hardened Armor as our source of Major Resolve because it also gives you a little bit of a shield as well. So you're going to gain a damage shield that absorbs up to 10,300 damage for 6 seconds, which is a really good damage shield for 6 seconds. And you get the Major Resolve too, so that's awesome. See, I'm not using the word. I'm not using the word. And then back bar, we're using Corrosive. Corrosive makes you hit so unbelievably hard. And so what it does is you ignore your enemy's physical and spell resistance while you're in Corrosive. So you're just chunking people's health bars. And then on top of that, it's going to limit your incoming damage to 3% of your max health. Like, bro, you're super tanky. You're destroying everybody in sight. I love it. Moving on, our champion points are going to be Ironclad, Untamed Aggression, Resilience, and Fighting Finesse. Our red slottables are Survival Instincts, Sustained by Suffering, Pain's Refuge, and Fortified. And our green tree, what we really care about, because the slottables aren't really that great. Breakfall, really important, reduces your fall damage taken by 35%. Rationer is very important. Liquid Efficiency is very important. And if you want, Discipline Artisan increases the experience gain for your currently active skills and their skill lines by 15%. So use those. And that is the entire build. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I really had fun putting this one together, and I just had fun just playing it off stream and just enjoying myself to just test it to see, you know, if it still holds up today. And I can assure you, it does. It's a lot of fun. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. Do me a giant favor, hit that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Later.
I feel pressure and it festers. There's this yearning that I don't say. Sick of guessing, I have questions. Oh well, all I can do is pray. Oh, I've been roaming, taking chances all along. Where am I going when it's always going wrong? Wish someone could tell me how things will end. change